I just want to remind you what these windows are. So this one is Project Browser, this one is Properties Palette, and this is our drawing space. Let's start with the navigation and zoom. Okay, so this is the navigation bar, and as you can see, we have, when you click on this, you can see that we have different zoom options. So we have zoom in region. You'll just zoom into that part, okay? Just click on it and then select part of your drawing and it will zoom in. We have another zoom option, which is zoom all to fit, and it's similar to zoom extend. So as you click on it, you can see all your drawings. There is another option for zoom out and zoom extend as well. And that's double clicking on your mouse wheel button. Okay. Actually, what you need to zoom in and out your model is just the mouse wheel. So just use it for zooming in and out, and that's it. The next thing I want to show you is located on the quick access toolbar, and this is the quick access toolbar, and this button. This looks like a house, but this is actually our 3D view. So as you click on it, you can see your 3D view of your model. This is the default 3D view. So if you want to switch between level 1 and 3D, you can come back to the project browser here, and you can just click. Let me show you one thing. In 3D view, when you extend it, you can see that 3D is active right now. It is bolded. Okay, so this shows that the 3D view is active right now. So if you want to switch to level 1 window, you can just double click on level 1, or you can just click switch between these two windows. The actual location of this 3D view is in the view tab. So if you click on view tab, you can find it here. Okay, this is just located here, so you can find it just quickly in quick access toolbar. Now I want you to go back to level 1 again. And next thing we're going to talk about is section. So how we can create sections in Revit. As you know, a building section is like a cut plane through the building, a vertical cut plane. A section of a building is very helpful in showing us the vertical elements of a building, like, for example, the height of the levels, different levels of a building, the things that we actually cannot see in a floor plan. Now we want to see how to create a section. Okay, so we have again the section button here at the top in the quick access toolbar here, and also in the view tab, this one, section. Creating a section is very, very easy. You just need to click on this button or this button. They are both the same, and just click here wherever you want, actually, and then pull it across to wherever you want, and then just click. Okay, now how we can find our section. As you come here, you can see that we have a section here. Revit just created this button for us after creating this section. Okay, before that we didn't have a section button, and you can expand it, and here is our section. We have 3 different ways to open this section window. Okay, so the first one is to double click on this. The second one is to just double click on the head of this bubble of our section line. And the third one is to just, when you have your section line selected, just right click on it and then go to view. Okay, so you can pause this video and try this and just do it over and over again. Okay, so here is our section of the whole building. And as you can see here, we can see different elements of our building, like the roof, the walls, doors, and everything inside our building. Now we want to create another section in the office building file that we have, because it's more sophisticated. We have different floors. We have just one level here, but there are different levels in that file. So open your office building. Okay, so we just upgraded, and as you can see, we have switched to the office file. Now here in the project browser, we can see that we have different levels, level 1, 2, roof. We have the default 3D view, some elevations, but we don't have any section yet. Okay, so we are going to create one. Just click on the section and then pick the first point, the second one, and that's it. So this is the section head, and this arrow shows the direction that we are looking at in our section. So it's looking at north right now. And this is our section tail, okay? This dash over here indicates the drawing number, but right now it's on reference because we haven't located our section on any sheet yet. As soon as we locate it on a sheet, these will be filled. This toggle button over here switches between the tail and head of this section line, so you can change the way it looks. On this other side of the section line, we have the toggle button again, just to have different options. This is how far we can see in our section, the extent of our view in our section, that we'll talk about it later. And this button here is the flip button. So we have double arrows. This is flip button, and if you click on it, you can see that, that the direction we are looking at just changed. Okay, so we are looking south right now. You can change it to north. So this is called flip button. Now let's go to our section view. We can come here to the project browser, and then here the section is listed. Just double click, and this is our section view. As you can see, right now we can see inside our building. We can see the beams, windows, walls, the height of the levels, and different information, the vertical information. We can all see them just by having this section. Okay, now let's see what do we have here. Okay, so in our section, this box is our crop window. So it just controls what we can see in this section, okay? And we can control it. You can just easily grab one of these nodes and just adjust this window, and this will crop your view, okay? Your section view. Next thing we want to talk about is the detail level, and this is very important. This one would be one of your quiz questions, okay? So make sure you will write this down. Okay, let me zoom in one part of this section, okay? And here is the detail level button, okay? This is right now set to coarse, and how can we understand this is set to coarse? Because of the shape. This is just a blank box, set to coarse, and then we have medium. As you switch to medium, you can see that you are seeing more details in comparison with coarse, okay? And you can just change it to fine, and we will see more and more details. So let me show you the difference. This is medium, and this is fine, okay? More and more details. Okay, now you know this. Let's see. Well, next, if you decide not to see this crop region in your section, you have another visibility option for this, okay? So we have all the tools here down at the bottom are related to visibility, okay? So if you do not want to see this crop region, you can just click on this and it is gone, okay? That's it. Now let's take a look at other elements that we have in our section. So for example, we have these grids over here, and we have these levels, level 1, 2, roof. All of these are datum elements, okay, that we have mentioned before. So these are datum elements, the grids. these are actually just information that help us as designers to understand the drawings better. So what they actually give us is data. So datum elements gives us data. Data about the height of the roof, level 2, level 1. So datum elements are just provide us with data. And as you know, these datum elements are view specific. Okay, and what does that mean? That means we cannot see these grids and levels in our floor plan view. For example, in level 1, we cannot see them there. They are just visible here. Now let's move on and go to our level 1 view again. We have different options here or here. Okay, so we have a section here. You can just click and select it. And now you can just click on this flip button and just flip the view. Okay, now we are looking at this side and this side of the building. Let me switch to section and see the difference. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is this part of the building, not the north part. Now we can see that something should be wrong here because the lines are not complete and we cannot see, for example, windows and anything. Just let's see what's wrong, okay? Let's go to the plan. If we go to the plan, we can see that this crop region and the extent we can see in our section is right now is set to here, okay? So you can just drag it and pull it back to here so it covers all this side of the building, okay? And now if you go to section view, you can see that this was automatically updated, okay? Now, what if you decide to move your section line? You just want to have a section cut in another just place of your building, okay? So you just need to grab it and then drag it, okay? Just drag it to wherever you want, for example, here. Now, what if we decide to delete our section? Okay, so you can come here to Project Browser, just select your section and right click and then delete. And it's gone. Okay, now let me add another section. And then right click and go to view. Now, the next tool I want to talk about is the measure tool. We have measure tool here located here at the top. We also have it in modify tab here. So this is similar to actually the same as distance in AutoCAD, okay? So you just need to click and then you can measure the distance between 2 points anywhere in your drawing, okay? So for example, and you can see that the snap is activated right now, the end point, midpoint. So you can just click and then click and you have the distance here, okay? So the height from here to here is 11 feet 10 inch. This is this measurement tool is different from the dimension tool. Okay, this measurement is just temporary, but dimension is permanently. Okay, so we can measure just wherever we want, and as you click for your next measurement, the last one is gone. So that's why we say it's temporary. And as you can see here, it's a split button. And we have measure between 2 references and measure along an element, but most of the time we will use this first one. Next, we're going to see how we can rename our drawings. Okay, so for that, you can come to the project browser and whatever drawing, for example, I want to rename the section. Just double click on it so it is selected. Just right click on it and then rename, okay? You have another option too. You just need to click once on it, and as you can see, you just need to type in, for example, my initials, and then section 1. And now you can see the new name here, here, and also at the top. Okay, let's go to our floor plan. And As you can see here, this section is still unreferenced. Okay, that means it is not still located on any sheet, and so it is not used actually. You may have 10 different sections and you may only use 2 of them. So this will stay unreferenced until you place it on a sheet. Okay, now Revit has an option that you can hide unreferenced sections, and for that you can go to File, Print, then Setup, and here you can see that option, Hide Unreferenced View Text. It could be anything unreferenced, not only sections. Okay? So this way you can hide any unused drawing elements. Now, next, let's go to our 3D view. Okay, so we have it here, and again here. Let's just click. Okay, now we have the 3D view of our building, the windows, walls, and our side. And this is the view cube, south, east, top, corner, front, right. And if you accidentally just deleted this, you can go to View, User Interface, and make sure the view cube is checked. The next thing we want to talk about is visual styles. We can see this building here in our view in different modes and styles, okay? And that button related to visual style is located here down at the bottom and this box, okay? So we have, if you click on it, you can see that we have different options: wireframe, hidden line, shaded, consistent colors, and realistic. So let's start with wireframe. Okay, so we can see through our building, all the building that we have with this style. Okay, so it could be helpful when, for example, you are modeling a small element like a chair, and you need to see just all through it. The next one is hidden line. So in this one, whatever is closer to us just blocks away the other things that are further away, okay? Next one is shaded. And as you can see, everything has a color here, and these are not the real colors, like what we can see in the renders, okay? These are different. And for example, you can see the walls have different colors, and every element has a color in this style. Next one is consistent colors, and this is similar to this one, shaded, but well, it's just more realistic, a little bit more realistic than shaded. Next one is realistic. Well, it takes a while to be loaded. Okay, and what you can see here is realistic, actually. We can see the actual materials and things like that. I don't have a ray trace option here, but you might have that one on 2020, and that's even more realistic. Okay, that's look very similar to the actual render of the building. So make sure you know the visual styles where they are located. So this is located here, and how they are different. Now let's set this to hidden line, for example. Okay, or share. Now you can use the view cube to just turn around your building. Okay, and if you want to just hold your wheel down to pan, like AutoCAD. Now, if you want to orbit around your building using keyboard and mouse, you can just click on the Shift key on your keyboard and hold the mouse wheel and just orbit around the building. Okay? You can just rotate the view. Now, let's do something fun. Well, let's get back to the front right corner. Okay, so I want you to do the same. And then we want to make a duplicate of this view. Okay, so go to 3D view and then right click and duplicate the view. And then you can just rename it. 3D okay. Now, why we do this? Well, we want to just change this view, so we want to have our original view as well. Okay, we want to keep it. So just duplicate it, and then we are going to make changes to this view. Okay, now I want you to just right-click on your view cube, and then go to Orient to View, and then Section. And here is the section that I created. Okay, Section 1. Just click. Well, what it has done is that it took that 3D view and oriented that toward the section that we just created. Now, what we have here, like I say, is just the render section, okay? But we want to see something interesting. So go to your view cube and click on this corner. And this brings you to this perspective view of your section, okay? So you can see inside the building with this. Now, as you can see here, we have a box around this. And as you click on it and select it, double click on it, you can see some arrows around it, okay? So if you're going to change it, then you can just click on these arrows and then just pull it aside, okay? So you can see the difference. We can just see different parts of the building, okay? So we can just pull it down to see through the building, pull it up from this side as well, okay? So you can play with this. You can just pause the video and play with this. Now just remember this, okay? The name of this box, it's section box, okay? Next, we are going to just add a camera view. Okay, for that, go to the level 2 in Project Browser. Okay. Then you want to create a perspective of your drawing, of your building. Then you need to add a camera, and the view would be like a perspective. Now, where the camera icon is located, camera tool, we have it first here at the top in the quick access toolbar. You can use this button here, or you can just go to view, and here in 3D view, just use this one. They are the same, okay? Just click on it, and then you need to locate the camera somewhere inside your building. So just click, for example, here, and then in the next step, you should just choose where do you want to look at, okay? This side of the building. So I want to look at this side, and yes, the perspective is created. Now let's go back to our level 2. So this is the camera triangle, okay? So this is the right side of the camera view, left side, middle side, or the direction you are looking at. And then this is back of your view, okay? So how far you can see, this is the level that controls that. This is actually called far clip active, okay? So let's get back to the 3D view. Now you can rename your view. This is this one. Just rename it to, for example, level 2 perspective. And then here you can change the visual style to, for example, shaded or consistent color. You can also change the detail level that you are seeing. Coarse, fine. And now we have a perspective. Let's try something else. I want to create another camera view. So go to level 2 and then just add another camera. Okay, here. And then this time we want it to be shorter, like this far. Okay. Okay, you see what happened? Let's switch to consistent color. I can see it only up to this far, and that's a huge problem, okay? And that's because of that far clip active, that cropped my view. Okay, so what can you do to switch it off? Well, you can go to this properties palette, and here we have far clip active. Just uncheck it and then apply. And yes, you can see all through the building. Okay, so it's so important. Just write it down and make sure you will do that anytime you create a camera view. Okay, so when you create a camera view and add a camera view, the immediate next thing that you should do is to uncheck this box. Okay, far clip active. Just uncheck it. Now, if you switch to your camera view, to the floor plan view, okay, you can see that there is no line here, okay, because we have turned it off. So let's go back to 3D view, and you can see a window here that you can adjust it. So you can pull them in or out. Actually, you are adjusting your camera view here, okay? But just make sure you will not go so far away, because your view will be so wide and it will not be realistic anymore, okay? As you can see, your view is cropped right now, and you can just uncrop your view from here. So this is uncropped right now, and then you can just pan and move through your view. So I'm just holding the wheel button and moving through the building, okay? So if you want to use this drawing in your sheet and place it in a sheet, you need your drawing to be cropped, okay? So if it is uncropped, you cannot place it on a sheet. There's another option you can use to navigate through the building, and that's this button. So instead of just using the pen tool, you can just use this navigation tool to just navigate through the building more precisely. Okay, so as you can see, it is attached to my cursor, and as I move my mouse, it is just moving around, okay? And then we have different options here. For example, we have the walk. If you click on it and just hold it, you hold your mouse button, then you can walk through the building. And you can look up and down. You can go up and down. Okay. You can change your look, so you are standing in a spot and then just viewing different parts of the building. So you can play with all these options here and see what different options are here that you can use when navigating inside the building, because this option is we have it only for inside the building, not the 3D views outside the building. Okay, now I can close it. And the last thing I want to mention here is here in Properties Palette, when you add a camera, then you can see here in Properties Palette, we have the eye elevation and target elevation. The eye elevation is the height of your actual eye level that you are seeing right now. You are just, this is your eye level, and this target elevation is the level of the target you are seeing right now, okay? So if you just increase this one to, for example, 40 feet, you can see that I'm looking at the just roof. Or if they are at the same level, then you are looking just forward, okay? You can bring this down to, for example, 6 feet. And you can change them. Just as I move my mouse and move my view, you can see that it is changing. These are changing all the time.